Alright, we're back for the 3 p.m. turn of OSG's Library of Napoleonic Battles. Napoleon invades Spain, specifically the La Coruna scenario. And so I'll go ahead and move this here to set that. And yes, the weather is rain. So basically the situation is, well, these units were out of command and didn't get in command last turn. Hopefully this turn they will be. And Soult concentrated on the British right and pushed back the British. And now the British, well, looking at this, they have reasonably strong positions. We'll look at that in a second. And at the moment, Soult is in a race against time to score victory points. The 2 victory point hexes are back here. And the British are making sure, I guess the strategy in this game is not to make sure that none of their units can get surrounded in combat, because that's near certain death or elimination. So that's why they abandoned Elvina last turn voluntarily, because if this unit was still here, with the retreat here, the French would be able to get on either side and surround them. So they had to abandon there. They then also occupied San Cristobal. Fell all the way back here as a defensive position, supports here, and then this unit is thrown out here on the far right flank to guard against any cavalry running around the corner here. So it is now the French turn, 3 p.m. And so we'll go ahead and let's see what that looks like. Yeah. And if we look at the sequence of play, there is no weather segment this time. We're not playing cards. Supply is a non-weather turn not checked. Recovery, nope. There's no units that could be reorged, so that's not it. So we are at the command segment. So in the command segment, phasing player allocates his command points. It looks like everybody out of command markers are placed on all forces not in command. And so if we look at this, I think we're in the same situation here. These units are both definitely out of command. Soult is too far away. And all the rest of the French forces appear to be in command. They are all within 4 of Soult. So everybody else is in command. So that means our next phase is, yeah, all those, the initiative movement. Oh, okay, the command movement segment is our next phase. Move all forces that are in command, and then we'll roll for initiative for those 2 other units. See if they can come up and participate. So here's the problem. This is actually a hilltop position, which means inadvertently they've retreated into a rather strong position. And here we go, hilltop, the slopes look right. I always have trouble with slopes here, but if we look at the combat effect for that, slope hex, and if we come down to slope, that's a crest hex. So slope hex is here, all defending common units, defender 1.5 if attacked only uphill through slopes. Well, that's what this is, because it says Monte Mero, whatever, if I pronounced it right. So these units are actually 1.5. Also, the French can't move laterally fast enough to concentrate against here. This, yeah, they could attack, but since they can't surround this unit, what is the advantage when all I have to do is occupy Elvina and again pin this unit and force them to attack, just like they did last turn. So moving across, the only place really where it makes sense to attack is here, and yet this is a strong position. We've got a town. We can get on the other side here and here. So the crest won't affect us, and the stream won't affect us because we're from both sides. But This unit will have a defense of 6, and then half of that added, that's 9, and then artillery is like a little over 9. So they have a defense of 9 and they're in a city, and the point is they just got to keep attacking. Now by taking that, well, they could fall back to the chateau. I mean, we're just not getting behind them fast enough, but I don't see any other eventuality. So it looks like what they're going to do is pretty much screen here, occupy Elvina and force them to attack, and then attempt maybe a 1.5 to 1 attack. That's the best they can do. And then there's not much to do over here. This is a strong position. And this also, nobody's going to be able to get over the stream to the other side. Maybe this unit. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, they'd have to go on a road march or something. 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, they could get there. And that would be a straight attack. I don't know if that's worthwhile. Nobody else can get over there to help him. This 6 unit can't. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. I mean, maybe we should shift him over there to try and do that, but this would be a 1-to-1 attack. And it all depends also where Soult ends up to make sure everybody stays 1, 2, 3, 4 in command. So Soult may end up 1, 2, 3, 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And when we go into that twilight time, everybody rolls for initiative. So all of that being said, I think I've got the French strategy, so I'm going to pause while I do my move. Alright, finish the command movement segment. And here we have, I'm trying to keep my divisions organized too. We have the 3rd Division screening over here. These guys on the hilltop. Meanwhile, I got a mix of units from the 3rd and the 1st Division in Elvina, forcing these units to be, well, they're pinning them and then forcing them to attack. And these will be probably a defense 15. These units couldn't really get up in time, so I've left them in the back as reserve, and meanwhile we have exactly a 1.5 to 1 attack here. And it looks like another 1.5. The cavalry was able to swing around and get on the other side of the stream. Combined with this guy gets us the 1.5 to 1 also. So now we've got to roll for initiative here. Let's see, got to roll a 4 or less. And survey says 2. Okay, these guys can move. So let's see where they go. Alright, so the unit who can move is the one with the 4 initiative, and then I'll roll for the other guy. And he can be in road march. 1, 2. And let's see. Well, maybe he can swing around. 2. Yeah. 2.5. And then he leaves, so he comes out of road march, which is 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. Well, he could go in. No, he can't. Stacking wouldn't permit it, and he's still considered out of command. Now we roll for this guy. Be nice to have him, but I don't know. Nope, he's still out of command and stuck. So that ends the French movement phase. And they're trying to stretch out the British here, but we'll see where their attacks go. No attack is required here because they're in the town. So we have this attack, and just to show you the odds, 5 and 2 is 7. 7 and 7 is 14. These are 3/4, so that at least gets me to 15 for the artillery. Artillery is at 3/4 strength during rain. And this guy is at 4 and 2 is 6. But gets a 1.5, so that's 9, and then the artillery takes it about to 10 defense, so it is a 1.5 to 1 defending infantry times 1.5. Yep, so it is 1.5 to 1. So let's find the combat results, and this is the one we're on, and let's roll. Wow. Let me check something real quick about leaders being present. Alright, well that's a big roll for Soult here. Soult and More going head to head. 1.5 to 1, that's a DR2. No asterisks, they lose the town. And they have to retreat, and they're going to go right through the chateau. That's too bad. So they can go here or here, and they'll probably go right here. And then we have to see if More is captured. So they retreat straight back. And the roll for More is on a 6. I believe he's captured. Let me check that real quick. Okay, so we see the rule here. Retreat and capture. Leaders stacked with friendly combat units always retreat with their stack. But if we roll a 6, they are captured. So we rolled a 1 before, and we rolled a... Oh, for Pete's sake. Vassal is out of control here. Kind of realistic. More got shot. So More is captured. Or wounded, or died. That is a big setback for the British. Thought they had a strong position. So More rolled a 6, captured. Alright, according to the rules, it's 2 turns ahead of time, the replacement arrives. Wow. This is the only commander on the board. Now they all have to roll individually. Okay, let's pull up the turn record chart. There it is. And we're on this turn, so wow. Kind of like real life here, actually. And then the French can advance after combat. Soult will have to stay here. So it's going to be 1 infantry and any cavalry. And there are no cavalry. If Soult advances here, that will put these units out of command. And if he advances 1, 2, 3, 4, or can't, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. But the advantage of advancing Soult is you can advance more units there. In case, well, I don't know if the British can counterattack. Okay, so I'm looking at this and it really doesn't matter because Soult 1, 2, 3, 4 can't go here for command because it's an occupied zone of control. So these guys are out of command no matter what. Wow, they're going to have to roll initiative now. So the question is how to advance here while not inadvertently being surrounded is what we're trying to avoid. So if they advance here, can the British get units on either side? I mean, they could put one here. And then the question is, can somebody get here from the British side? And that would have to be one of these units coming around, and they could do it. Wow, so don't want to lose a unit, and this would be an exposed position. So perhaps I can advance. If they're coming from this side, well, if they got to surround them, they've got to attack everybody. So, and if Soult advances, 1, 2, 3, 4. Soult's not going to advance. And these guys are 7, and these guys are 7, so I can advance 1 unit. Well, I'm going to advance this guy. I mean, if they want to attack him, they can. Soult's not advancing. Too many. This is like, you got to think about everything here. So these guys could swing around and get here. These guys could move here. But if I don't put somebody in there, they can advance back in and not have to attack me. Wow. Okay. Or I could advance a lot of firepower here and then they'll never have the odds. But it would have to come from this stack. And they would be exposed and Soult would be exposed. Nope. A little conservative, but we'll just have to see what happens. 1.5 to 1. See what they get this time. Cavalry on the far flank. Whew, now they get the opposite. AR. Maybe shock. AR, DR. But this is a clear, so it doesn't matter. I think they just retreat. So he has to retreat here. And he has to retreat towards this supply. So I'm going to retreat him there. And this guy holds. He could advance, but that would be crazy at this point. So I believe that ends the French turn. Looking at the sequence of play, we're at 15 minutes. Good point. Yep. So I'm going to stop the move here, and I guess the big news is Sir Thomas More is off the field, and his replacement won't come for a while, which now means there may be a paralysis of command on the British side. Which means if they can't move, unfortunately the cavalry's over here, because the hole is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, but these guys could get behind them. Or worse yet, well, they can't get behind these guys because they got to attack, so they may end up falling back. If they fall back too, they've got a line again. So, we'll see. Things are interesting. Anyway, that is the French 2 p.m. I believe it is. 3 p.m. turn, and we're moving now into the British turn, and the big news is Sir Thomas More is off the field, just like real life. Alright, well, thanks for listening. Like if you like, comments appreciated, especially if you know the game and I did something wrong or bad strategy. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe so you can get the next British turn. Thanks.